Hi. I've been doing a lot of thinking about the things that are inside of us, the things that are sort of deep down in our, really the core of who we are, that define who we are as a person. And there have been times in my life where I've been going through something difficult, and I take those times to reflect about what really makes me happy and the things that can make me feel better in a difficult situation. And during one of those times a couple of years ago when I was reflecting, I was thinking back to my childhood and the things that would make me happy when I was a kid. And one of those things was riding horses. I think from the time I could talk, I asked my parents for a horse. And when I was around 11 or 12, my dad went and got me a secondhand pony. And I loved that horse more than you could possibly imagine. But I joined a 4-H club and we went to town for our riding lessons, and we would take the horse in the stock racks to town for the lessons. And if you're not familiar with stock racks, they're generally used for hauling cattle. Pretty primitive by most standards. And we would drive up and unload the horse, and all the other riders that were in my club would have nice horse trailers and beautiful bridles and saddles, and of course everything I had was secondhand, but I really didn't care. I was just happy to have a horse, and I loved that experience. So a few years ago, when I was thinking back to how it felt to be around horses, I found a local stable and I registered for horseback riding lessons, which really connected me to that passion inside me for when I was young. Of course, I can't have a horse in the city, and sometimes you have to part with those things as you move on in life, but there's sometimes a way to reconnect with them. And I was recently thinking, doing some of that inner work, which I call like taking it down to the studs, like in a reno project where you kind of go right back to the basics. And another thing that was important to me when I was younger was music and taking music lessons. I used to play flute and piano when I was a child, and I always intended to learn how to play the guitar, but I never had done it, even though my aunt who has passed left me a guitar with the stipulation that I would learn it, but I didn't. And the answer to why I hadn't started lessons when I really thought about it was really simple. And the answer was that nobody had made the lesson appointment for me. So what I did was I went online and did some research, and I found a music school locally, and I started taking lessons. But then unfortunately there were some restrictions on face-to-face lessons. So I went and I registered for some online lessons. And I've been trying to learn to play. I haven't gotten very far yet, but I can play a few chords. It's getting better, but it's not perfect, that's for sure. I can plug along. See if I can hit this one. Sometimes it's hard. So this is one of the things I did for myself. I can work at my own pace. There's no pressure. It's fun. And even though I'm not very good at it yet, it's something that I'm really enjoying. So I think there really are a lot of things deep down inside us that we can connect to and reclaim even as we get older or different stages in our lives. But it really is personal. So you kind of have to do that reflection or do that inner work to figure out what those things might be. So who knows, maybe if you think about it, you'll be able to go and do something that is really a part of you as well. So I wish you luck with that, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.